We can move on to the last game of Sunday afternoon. The Cleveland Browns, your beloved Cleveland Browns, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders at the Raiders Stadium, at Allegiant Stadium. Right now, PFF favors Vegas slightly. It's actually like 0.3 is what they favor. Um, the only thing really worth mentioning, in my opinion, is Myles Garrett, questionable foot injury, Max Crosby, questionable ankle injury. Those guys are must watch, must see TV. And then again, I said it earlier this year. I think head and shoulders, Myles Garrett is head and shoulders above and beyond the best player in the league. I just think the difference between him and anybody who does what he does is so much greater than, say, as you mentioned, Pat Mahomes compared to Josh Allen or some other person. I think Myles Garrett's a dog. Um, I think, I mean, he's, in my opinion, he's the best player in football. So we could talk about that.
Wow.
Hope he's healthy. The Cleveland Browns offensive line, again, almost as bad fortune as New England so far this year. Wyatt Teller is now likely out. If not, he's already out with the knee injury. Conklin's been banged up. Wills hasn't been here. So a lot of injuries on that offensive line, and that's the strength of their offense. Um, I have kind of liked what I've seen from Deshaun at times. I know he's, going through a lot of things right now on and off the field. I know his dad did pass away. Uh, so he is dealing with a lot, but this should be a game they get back. They should get there. I like them to beat Vegas. I'm going to say they're going to beat Vegas. Hopefully the run game gets going, but we'll see what happens. Mike, if you want to just
The
go ahead.
only the only I've sworn off betting Browns spreads just because they let me down too many times. I've already got enough invested in it. Why put monetary value on it as well? No, I like the only play I like here is the under, just with how inconsistent Deshaun Watson has played. He has found the connection with Amari Cooper. I like his over receptions at 4.5. I like I like his over receptions. I also like his over in yards since he has become the clear focal point of the offense with the injury to Njoku and the inconsistency that we've been thrust into with the injuries on the offensive line with the run game. I think the defense does step up. I mean, we still have the guys. I think we played uninspired football last game. I think I think the weaknesses on the offensive line and all of the injuries that we've sustained showed, and it was devastating. I mean, seeing Deshaun running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and everyone bringing up the contract as always. I like the under. I hope they win. Gosh.
I mean, I gotta agree with you, Mike, that I would go with the under here. Um, I guess Christian, I would say I would love to just have a full podcast where we could debate the best at their position in the NFL. Because do you really think that Myles Garrett is that much better than T.J. Watt, than Max Crosby, than no? I mean,
Yes.
Aiden, okay, okay, all right, fair enough. Um,
But shout
because
out
I mean,
TJ
I think,
Watt.
but my prediction to this game is if Max Crosby plays. I know he's questionable with the ankle, but if Max Crosby plays, Max Crosby will take over this game. I think that there's nothing that'll splash some cold water in your face than losing to last year's worst team in the NFL with a backup quarterback. It's pretty demoralizing. I think that Antonio Pierce is a coach that won't accept that effort that we saw. You know, Mike, you said that the Browns are playing uninspiring football. I mean, the Raiders looked like they were sleepwalking through that game against the Panthers. So I look for the Raiders to bounce back here. I think that Max Crosby could take over this game once again, like I said, and you know, the Raiders offense was doing what they had to do to win in those first 2 weeks. and the Browns offense was not. So I'll take the Raiders here. Unfortunately, sorry, Mike. I'll take the Raiders to win at home, and I do like your pick on the under though.
With
I just
Wyatt
wanna
Teller,
say-
Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, more what should we say? Faux pas, flaring up from outside activities. Yeah, I gotta believe that Deshaun Watson's head is anywhere but on football. Obviously, with everything he's going through in his personal life, it's just not the best situation when you also got the entire city saying, 350 $400 million. Yeah. Yeah, they're playing uninspired football. It doesn't look good. The offensive line is, yes, the offensive line has had its problems, but just given all the expectation that is on Deshaun Watson to become that guy again, it's just not. It's not happening right now, and I think we're playing uninspired football on that offensive side. With hopefully Njoku comes back. He's listed as questionable now. That'll give us another weapon for him to be able to spread the ball around. But he's really just been going only to Amari Cooper, which has been fine. But there are so many other weapons that we could be distributing the ball towards. I think we've almost been abandoning the run game with guys like Jerome Ford and Dante Foreman back there. Dante Foreman had under 10 yards. I think he had about 5 yards last game. I would have liked to have seen him be featured if we had gotten anywhere near the goal line and more goal line packages. But
Is Stefanski
like
on the hot seat?
no, I don't think he is because of the cap space that we cleared with Deshaun Watson's contract. I think that showed a clear, if this is going to be the problem, then let's prepare for the problem and be able to cut ties while being able to retain who I think is still a very good coach for the Cleveland Browns. But, we'll see. I think if one were to go first, I won't talk about another man's job. But, yeah, I think Stefanski's safe. The outcome aside.
I will just say one thing. I think throughout the season, it's been pretty evident that with no rushing attack, there's no chance. The Las Vegas Raiders have the worst rushing attack in football. And then I guess looking forward for the Browns, do we have any update on Nick Chubb when he could be back? Anything at all? I'm seeing week 5. But
yeah, seeing week 5 as well. I know there was some talk about him possibly coming back week 4, but I think he
I'm sorry.
can play, but I don't think they're going to give him. I don't think they're going to give him the nod in this one.
You cannot rely on a returning injured running back.
week
Guy
5,
who's been out.
he's expected to return week 5.
I understand, but I'm saying that he cannot be the cure to all the Browns' offensive woes. I mean, that's not going to be what saves the day is Nick Chubb returning. He's going to have his own ramp-up period. It's going to come down to whether or not Watson can get it done.
You don't believe in the return?
The
You don't believe in the return?
The
return
Knight.
of the – I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but he's returning from a completely torn apart knee. So we'll see how well he's able to return, but I don't know. I'm gonna be cautious with my. I wasn't the guy that was drafting and stashing Nick Chubb as many were this fantasy season.